Welcome to the Sunday service at CSLN. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of inspired individuals caring for and about each other and the entire planetary family. The Center for Spiritual Living Nashville offers spiritual tools for anyone seeking a more fulfilled and meaningful life through a deeper connection with a higher power or universal truths. Be sure to subscribe below if you enjoy our programs. Now let's join today's service.
Good morning, CSLN. I'm Lucia Cooper-Smith. I'm your host for today, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to Sunday morning at the Center for Spiritual Living Nashville. I'd also like to give a big welcome to those of you who are watching online from near and far. So we are excited today because our speaker is Reverend Denise Yeargin. We look forward to Denise's wisdom and insights in her talk titled, "And Both: The Paradox of Choosing and Assuming." We're also pleased to welcome one of our incredibly talented singer-songwriters, Sean Galloway, and a fabulous singer as well, Yvonne Smith. So who is CSLN? We are an inclusive, open spiritual community for anyone who is seeking their spiritual potential and purpose. If you've never been to a Center for Spiritual Living before, we believe there is one God, many paths to that God. We love, honor, and support you, whatever your divine path is. This Center for Spiritual Living is a community for people of all beliefs and lifestyles. Wherever you are and wherever you may find yourself on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. So let's move into spirit. And I ask you to close your eyes and take a deep breath with me. And take one more. Turn within and know with me that there is one God, one heart surrounding us right now, forever and always. The one source that created all things is still creating and lives in each of us right now. It is that golden thread of truth that moves through all spiritual paths, and we bless them all. We breathe in the willingness to experience something spectacular today, something that allows us to feel better or more connected in our lives. It could come through the message, through one of the songs, through one of the treatments, or from something in the fellowship hall or online. We are open to these lessons, every one of them, that shows us how to live our most magnificent lives. And I am so grateful for them. And so it is.
I am here now. I trust myself. I feel my freedom. I share my wealth. I am here now. I embrace my peace. I am blessed with joy. choose to thrive through my wisdom. I come alive. I am here now, devoted to truth, honoring me. I honor you. I'm living without edges, in the absence of fear, breathing in all beauty. I offer up my tears. I'm living without edges, beyond all control, safe and secure in all that is pure. Celebrate my soul. I'm living without edges, in the absence of fear. I'm breathing in all beauty, and offer up my tears. I'm living without edges, beyond all control, safe and secure in all that is pure. Celebrate my soul. I celebrate, I celebrate, I celebrate my soul. We celebrate, we celebrate, we celebrate our soul. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. How about the band, everybody? Give it up for them.
Wow. Celebrate my soul. Whew, we need more celebration, isn't that the truth? Whew. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. My name is David Arnholter, and I am a practitioner here and a member of the Board of Trustees. And it is my pleasure to say good morning to you and to share with you a reading from Ernest Holmes and do a spiritual mind treatment. So, our reading this morning is from pages 13 and 14 of Creative Mind and Success by Ernest Holmes. Right now, in the world today, there is more money, more provision than the world can even use. Not even a fraction of the wealth of the world is used. Investors and discoverers are adding to this wealth every single day. But in the midst of all this plenty, surrounded by all the gifts of heaven, man sits and begs for his daily bread. Everyone should be taught to realize that they have brought these conditions upon themselves. That instead of blaming God or blaming man or blaming the devil for the circumstances by which they're surrounded, one should learn to seek the truth We should tell every person who will believe what their real nature is. Show them how to overcome all limitations. Give them courage. Show them the way. Now, we may sympathize with people, but never with trouble, limitation, or misery. Now, this is important. Again, we may sympathize with people, but never sympathize with trouble. Never sympathize with limitation. Never sympathize with misery. Now, if people still insist upon hugging their troubles to themselves, all the charity in the world will not help them. Remember that God, Spirit, is that silent power behind all things, always ready to spring into expression when we have provided the proper channels, which are receptive and positive faith in the evidence of things not seen with the physical eye, but with the eternal eye in heaven. All is mind. And we must provide a receptive avenue for it as it passes out through us into the outer expression of our affairs. So if we allow the world's opinion to control our thinking, then that will be our demonstration. If, on the other hand, we rise superior to the world, we shall do a new thing. God does not make things by comparing God's power with some other power. God knows that when God speaks, it is done. And if we partake of the divine nature, dear ones, we must know the same thing in our lives that God knows. And so it is.
And so it is.
So let's take a deep breath. Hold and release. Another deep breath. Hold and release. Now, I'm going to say this prayer in the first person, but please make it personal to you. I know that there is only one Spirit, one love, one life, and I am one with Spirit. I am one with love. I am one with life. I celebrate life. I know this fully and completely. And I know that a healing power is flowing in and through me and our community right now, healing every decision, healing every thought, healing every action. And I know this same healing power is flowing through our beloved center, attracting the perfect buyer for our building in an easy, abundant transaction, which all involved are blessed. I also know that a perfect new home and new minister for our community are even now drawn to us in love. And I'm sending loving, healing energy out to anyone in our community dealing with health or other issues. And I affirm the highest and best outcome for them. In particular, I'm sending healing, loving energy to our longtime community member and practitioner, Alan Woodard. And as a community right now, in silence, we lift up those in special need right now. And I give thanks. I give thanks for every expression of love present in our audience today and watching this broadcast from home. I give thanks for this community. I give thanks for our Science of Mind teaching, for everyone making this service possible today. And most of all, I give thanks for love. And accepting Spirit and love as my life experience, I release my word into the universal law of mind, which always says yes, knowing that this or something even better is so. And together we say, And so it is. Thank you, Gregory.
I'd like to invite everyone to take a deep breath. I want to send this song out to the folks in the Middle East and all around the world. This is called If I Could Find a Way. If I could find a way to free your heart, if I could light the way to your shining star, would you walk with me across the desert sands? If I could find a way, would you take my hand? If I could write a song that would touch your tears, play it all night long until you felt no fear, would you sing it with me and have a good cry? If I could find a way, would you open wide? For there's love here for you, it's strong and true, a peaceful prayer we can say anywhere. Now all you have to do is ask, and I'll be there for you. If I could find a way to heal your wings, we could fly away to where the angels sing. We could rise above these troubled lands. I can find a way. Come and take my hand. We can find a way. Come and take my hand.
Sean, that was beautiful. In fact, I told him earlier I have been excited that he was going to be here today because I've spoken here for about a year and a half or two now, and this is the first time I've been able to share the stage with you, so thank you. It's been wonderful already. I think that song spoke to me this morning because some of you that follow my Facebook posts know that my mother is in the hospital this time. She fell. And I know this is going to sound weird, but this is an answer to my prayers. She's 91. She needs to go into assisted living, and she is pushing back on the family with that. And so I just kept praying highest and best for her and safety. And I practiced the art of allowing, which I'm going to explain today. And guess what happened? She's in the hospital, and her doctor came in yesterday and said, you will not be released from the hospital until we find a rehab program for you to go in. And it didn't have to be me saying that to her. It's the doctor. And so you see how it works? I had to trust I had to trust that a power greater than me had answers to this amazing chessboard that we're all on out here in this three-dimensional world. And that something different was going to happen than me having to push and shove, because I know that doesn't work. Anybody in here ever tried to push and shove? Just a tad, just a little. And so I also find it very funny sometimes that when I decide this is what I'm going to speak about, then my life kind of rummages through that. Because this didn't happen till Wednesday night. She didn't fall till Wednesday night. And so we've been kind of dealing with this, and I've been going, okay, thank you, God. This is kind of funny on some level, because I'm having to live what I'm getting ready to tell people how to do. Isn't that funny? Isn't that the way it works? Sort of, kind of. So I felt like that song was also for me. If I could find a way, if someone could find a way. And the thing I know about myself is that music is the way for me. It's what soothes my soul. And I think you all felt that this morning. So know that I usually do a meditation or a quiet time in the beginning, but I'm going to do it in the end today, and you will understand why once we get there. But is there anybody else in here has a passion for the possible? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Does anybody else in here have a passion for the possible? Yes. Have you begun to realize that you have to look at both and? Do you know what I mean? We know how to create. We know how to set intentions. And sometimes we're still standing in this three-dimensional world, but setting our intentions for this, and it's kind of what I've been doing with my mother for about 1.5 years. And so you have to live in both and, still knowing that this is the truth, but right now in this moment, here's where I am. Do you know what that feels like? It's about being in this world, but not of it. Do you remember who said that? Jesus, the master teacher, said you have to learn how to be in the world, but not really of it. And what does that mean? Sometimes words that we read out of sacred writings, we go, what does that really mean? It means that I can be in this three-dimensional thing that's going on with me, and I can set an intention, and I can be like this, and know that it will happen when I allow it to happen. You know, I was excited that Mitch was talking about the law of attraction and doing a class in that. Because the part of the law of attraction that I love the most is the art of allowing, and I don't know if he's talked about that at all. But that's why I thought, I'm going to do that. Because I have a passion for the possible. And I want you to hear that, and then I want you to say it again with me. I have a passion for the possible. Say that with me. I have a passion for the possible. Do you realize what you're saying? You're saying that I'm willing to live in both and, because I have a passion for the possible. In fact, if I had done my due diligence this morning, and I was planning on doing that, and then I got waylaid and got to Nashville earlier and all of this, but I'm hoping that on some level I can get this affirmation back to you, because it's long. And I'm going to say it several times, but I want you to hear the affirmation that I use every morning that I have used for at least 10 years. And I'm sharing it with you. I'm taking this time to create my day. And I'm affecting the quantum field. Living, loving spirit, show me a sign that you paid attention. And bring it to me in such a way that I will be surprised. And I will know that it is from you. I want you to hear that one more time. And I'll say it several different times through this process. I'm taking this time to create my day. And I'm affecting the quantum field. Living, loving spirit, show me a sign that you paid attention. and bring it to me in such a way that I will be surprised and I will know that it is from you. When I ended up walking into the hospital, into the room my mother was in, I felt that. And you're like, oh, this is a 91-year-old woman and she's fallen and she's in the hospital. It's what needed to happen for the next step to happen, and for the next step to happen, and for the next step to happen. And sometimes, in my mind, I judge things as bad. Does anybody else do that? Oh, this is bad, 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 bad. I've lived through some of that in my life, things that I thought, oh, this is bad. And 25 or 30 years later, I go, you know, that was really pretty good, because it got me over here to where I wanted to go, but I had no idea in the moment what was happening at this 25,000-foot look. That's a big trust walk, isn't it? Every day. So many people come to me at times because they know that's the way I've lived my life all my life. Even though it made no sense to me and other people around me, sometimes I've lived that way. And they'll go, I want to understand this, and here's what I want. But here's all the stuff that's going on, and I don't want that. I'm like, oh, okay. So tell me what you want. Well, here's what I want, but here's all the stuff that's going on. And this may take hours for them to talk about. You know what I'm talking about? Or weeks, or months, or years. Because they keep coming back and going, oh, this is really what I want, but I need to tell you about this right here because this is... You ever heard any of that? Have you ever done any of that? I have. And so I will say to them, what's stopping you from having this right now? You know what they say? This right here, all of that. All of that, all those people and all those situations and all that stuff that's going on right here is in the way of me having this. And then I will say, are you willing to let that go? Now, I know that sounds funny. It does sound funny to me at this point in time, Meredith. But when somebody asked me the same thing years and years ago, I went, oh, I don't know. Because what's going to happen if I let that go? Maybe something good. But can I believe that? And so the next thing I usually say is, do you see your situation as broken, stuck? And they'll say, yes. Yes, thank you. You heard me. Yes. And I'm like, could you begin to see this moment right here of what you don't want as an opportunity to allow the universe to move you over here to what you want? And they're like, no, can't see that. Can't deal with that. And so I say, breathe. I say that a lot. Breathe. Just breathe into that. Breathe into the possibilities of what this is. And I can promise you, some of you that are practitioners have prayed with people, and it's been the most beautiful, marvelous prayer that you could ever have prayed. And the minute you're done, they're right back here trying to talk to you about that. Right? Yeah, it happens. And so the next thing I say to people is, then I can't help you until you're ready. That doesn't go over well with a lot of people. Well, I thought you were a therapist. I am. And I have chosen that this is the way that I'm going to do my practice. And if you choose to sit for the next 50 years and dig in this, then I can't help you. I'm sure there are people that can, or at least will sit in there and dig with you, okay? But I want to be in the possibilities of what can happen here. And so when I begin to talk like that, I say, do you realize that you can be in both places? You can be here. And do you realize that the more you put your energy over here, the more this heals and goes away? Do you realize that's the way it works? Because when I start shifting my attention and my focus over here, something about all this just goes on. It's like I don't need to focus on that anymore. That, my friends, is the law of allowing. Taking your time every day. I'm taking my time to create my day. And I'm affecting the quantum field, and living, loving spirit, show me a sign that you paid attention. And bring it to me in such a way that I will be surprised. And I will know that it is from you. And so, what I want to share with you, and I'm going to share with you some stories that have worked for me. And I hope that helps you in this process. Because what I know is I'm preaching to the choir, but I also know that we live in the world. And there are things that show up in this three-dimensional world some days that aren't pretty. And it's like, okay, I'm having to shift. So in 1998, I went to the first Association of Global New Thought conferences that ever happened. And I was blown away because anybody that's ever thought that they were New Thought, and Wayne Dyers and Marianne Williamsons and all those people, Gene Houstons, were all there. And Esther and Jerry Hicks were there. And I thought, that's interesting, law of attraction. Let me see what that is. So, of course, I went to their workshop, and it was in a room about this big, and it was full to the brim with people, and people standing up on the sides. And silly me, because I usually will go, well, if I want to really learn this, I need to dive into it quickly. And so when they said, is there anybody who would like to play with Esther? I went, me. Well, it was exciting. Because in that very moment, I was knowing that inside of me was a unity minister, but I was not one yet. Hadn't been ordained, hadn't been through all the programs that I needed to go through. Okay? And so I went up and I talked to her about what I wanted. But here's what's going on with me. I'm married to a man who does not want to be married to a minister, and he's already told me that. So if you become a minister, this ain't going to work. I have 2 little boys. One of them is 18 months old, and one of them's 3.5. So that's like a big old... And I can't go to ministerial school, and she was, stop. She said, if you keep chattering all day long about what you don't want, you might as well get down now. And here I am sitting in a room full of like 300 or 400 people. And I thought, I just got told off by Esther Hicks. Okay, now what do I do? And she said, do you want this? Then stop talking about that. I said, well, I'm a therapist. I've been a therapist for 20 years. She said, close that. Close that. Of course, there was a little part of me going, you're just a rude old lady. What is your deal? What are you doing? But what I will tell you is because I followed her instructions about allowing the universe to bring it to me in any kind of a way that it could, she said, are you open to the possibility that this right here can go away if you allow the universe to bring you this in whatever way it can? Because right now you can't figure this out. And you want to know the next thing she said to me? The how is none of your business. Oh, well, yes, it is. The how is none of my business. Say that with me. The how is none of my business. Ooh, I didn't like that. Because I had prided myself for all of those years of figuring out how to get to where I wanted it to be. And I'd already been to the Association of Unity Churches, and I had a list of all the things I had to do and all the hoops I was going to have to jump through. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do all this, but I don't know what I'm going to do with this. And she said, honey, the how is none of your business. Well, then how do I get here? How do I get here? So the first thing I did when I got home is shared with some of the people at the Unity Church that I was going to how rude Esther Hicks was. And you might not want to go to her workshops. Even though I think I learned some things, she's a little bit rude. And one of the ministers there said, what I want you to do is I want you to start and commune with God, Spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I want you to do that every day. And of course, I was like, oh, that sounds nice, but, yep. Every day, I got 2 little boys. Every day, he said, remember what she said. Just find a way to commune with Spirit every day. And I said, okay, here's the deal. The only way I know I can do that is get up at 4:30 every morning. Because I know my boys are asleep then. They're not asleep all night. They're running around doing all kinds of things and waking me up, but they're asleep at 4:30 in the morning. He said, then do it then. I said, okay. And I said, what should I do? And he said, you should feel this. Just feel it. Feel what it would be to be a Unity minister. That's all you have to do. Just feel it. Just be in that place and feel it fully. Every morning, he said, sit in the silence for 30 minutes and feel that. I said, okay. Well, I can do that. And so I started doing that. And what would it feel like? I realized that this was beginning to shift. Okay? Wasn't sure what it was going to look like, but I knew it was beginning to shift. And I remembered Esther talking about the art of allowing, that if you keep focusing here and quit trying to figure out this over here, that eventually you will find yourself over here and go, how did that happen? That's exactly what happened to me. My husband of several years told me, because I was working in the music place with, I was the music director at the church. I was the Larry Ferengale at that church, believe it or not, 100,000 years ago when I did all that. And my partner now was the piano player. And my then husband said to me, and when I say that to people, they're like, huh. He said to me one night, he said, you know, you need to be with Judy Blackwelder and not me. I was like, really? You think so? He said, yes, I do. Because she supports all of this over here, and I don't want to be over here, and I'm not going to do this, and that's what I think you need to do. And he said, and we need to file for a divorce, and it needs to be a nice divorce. We need to be kind to each other because we've got to still raise these boys, but that's what I think needs to happen. And I was just giggling to myself like, whose husband does that? I kept feeling this. I didn't realize that that was a part of this, but it was. So I kept affirming at that point in time, my affirmation was, I am a Unity minister. I was not one. I am a Unity minister. I have all of these lists of things I have to do. No. I am a Unity minister. I got 2 little boys I got to raise. No. I am a Unity minister. I'm married right now. No. I am a Unity minister. My husband's not going to like that. No. I am. Do you get it? Yeah. The art of allowing. And know that very soon all of that began to shift. Judy and I became a partner to each other. And then the minister that was there at the church asked me to leave my full-time job, which was a school psychologist at the School for the Blind, and come work with her. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. That's on my way. Some of you have heard I started working there on a Monday and she left on a Tuesday. Guess what happened that next Sunday? I am a Unity minister without any of that other stuff. Now, eventually, I found out about the field licensing program, and the association worked with me, and they sent people to help me, and they got me to my classes, and my church was fine, and we ended up thriving, even though we weren't supposed to. Because I focused on, I am a unity minister, not, oh. Now, hear me, that's not the easiest thing to do. Okay, because there were people in my family who were like, you're going to do what? Women don't do that. Right? There's all kinds of things that happened when I would affirm this. So I had to let go of attachments to the outcome. You got any attachments to the outcome? To the way you want it to look? I wanted to look like I go to Unity Village and go to ministerial school for 2.5 years and get ordained nice and tidy and neat. I had a 7-year path of running a church and then finding somebody to guest speak for 2 weeks while I would go to the Association of Unity Churches and take classes and then come back. It was a long time. I am a unity minister. I'm taking this time to create my day, and I'm affecting the quantum field, living, loving spirit. Show me a sign that you paid attention and bring it to me in such a way that, Lord mercy, I was surprised. And that I knew that it was from something greater than me. So I want you to think for a minute of something that you desire. Just think of something. It can be something little. It could be what you want for dinner. It can be something big. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 processes that Esther did with me. And it will give you an idea of how this stuff works. The first process is going to be for 17 seconds. And all I'm going to do is make sure that my timer is here, and I'm going to tell you to think about that and sit and breathe and feel what it would feel like to have what you desire. And hold that thought for 17 seconds and don't let come in. Are you ready? So breathe and begin. And stop and breathe and open your eyes. 17 seconds is longer than you really think it is. So talk to somebody beside you about what that experience was like for you. That may be very easy for some of you, and it may be challenging, so just wait till we get to the next one. Talk for a minute. So I'm going to share another little something with you before we do the last exercise and show you how it worked in a different way. In 2016, Judy Blackwelder's mother died and left us a house in Savannah. But it was in the city proper, and I had no desire to live in Savannah proper. I wanted to live on the river. There's a road that runs to our house called Blackwelder Lane. Her name is Judy Blackwelder, so you can only imagine all that property used to belong to her family. They've subdivided it and done a lot of things to it. And so she said, I've got a lot down there and we can build a house. I said, that sounds cool. So we went down there and looked. And when we were down there, there was a house there for sale, just a little ways down, and I said, I like that. So we got a realtor to come and let us in and look at it. Now, Judy will tell you that I'm always flying up here, and she has to pull my coattails down to the ground and go, okay, honey, let's look at reality here. And she has a hard time with that sometimes. So she had the realtor, and we were in this house, and it has 3 levels, and it's just magnificent. Great big huge windows overlooking the river. And I was just like in love. I was like, whew. And her and the realtor were walking around. What do you think these people will take? And will they take blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I can't listen to that. That's the first thing I want you to hear. If you are creating something, you cannot listen to all the naysayers, because that's going to drag you into that hole, okay? So I made sure that whatever floor they were on, I was on a different one. And I would walk in a room and I would kind of hold the space and I would look around and I would visualize my furniture there. I would visualize my children and their children coming and visiting us there. I just had all kinds of things. I mean, I had it planned out for years of what I desired. And then when the realtor left and Judy looked at me and she said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to offer this much, and we're going to offer the house in Savannah to go with it. Because the people that were living there were elderly and they needed to get up out of there. I said, that sounds wonderful. And she said, oh, they won't take this. And of course, you may not know me that well, but I was like, I'm not la 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 la. I'm not listening to that. I've already done my witchy thing, and this is our house. She was like, no, honey, they're not going to take that. This is like a big old honker house. They're not going to take that. I was like, here they are. And so I drove back to Nashville, was doing my thing. She does all of the business deals that we do, and so she sat with the realtor and wrote up the proposal and all that, and it was a Sunday afternoon, and she said, we're going to give it to them, but I don't know what they're going to say. I said, okay. They'll say okay, but okay, whatever. This is my house. This is my house. This is my house. I feel it. And so on Monday morning at 7 o'clock, Judy called me and said, guess what? I said, I have a house. She said, yes, you do. They accepted it. I didn't think they would. I said, la, 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 la. It was my house. So the next exercise, and then we'll be done, is for 68 seconds. You have to hold that feeling. That's that creme de la creme, okay? If you can hold a belief and a feeling and your desire for 68 seconds and not let anything else come in, things start moving. So are you ready? So breathe and hold your desire. I'm taking this time to create my day, and I'm affecting the quantum field. Living, loving Spirit, show me a sign that you paid attention, and bring it to me in such a way that I will be surprised, and I will know that it is from you. Namaste.
Wonderful. Well, now it is time to give back to what serves us. So if you consider this your spiritual home, or if you're a visitor and something has touched you today, and there are so many wonderful things between the message and the music, there are so many ways that you can share your love with us, and we are grateful for your donation to our center. So I'd like to ask our ushers to come forward now. We also have 4 other ways we can accept your gift. You can use a credit card in our bookstore or at the terminal in the lobby behind us. You can find a document with a QR code in the book pocket in front of your seat. For our online viewers, you can make a contribution to the link in the description online, or you can mail your donation to our street address. So let's see if we could bring our offertory up, and please say with me, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you for your loving gifts.
Got no piano. Ray. Oh, thank you.
When the world's got you down, get ready to ride that magic rainbow held inside. With your intention, choose to let go. Remember your resilience and go with the flow. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Let a little loving soothe your soul. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Feel a little freedom in a heart that's whole. And that sea of emotion, feel all that you feel. Embracing the heart, allow the wounds to heal. Now shining on the shadows, navigate the night by surrendering the sorrows, dancing into the light. And breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Let a little loving soothe your soul. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Find a little freedom in a heart that's whole. With love we learn to ride the waves, claiming courage to greet the day, growing wings along the way. Now happiness is just a breath away. Breathe a little magic. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Let a little loving soothe your soul. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Find a little freedom in a heart that's whole. Come on now. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Let a little loving soothe your soul. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Find a little freedom in a heart that's so. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Let a little loving soothe your soul. Breathe a little magic into forgiveness. Find a little freedom in a heart that's whole. Now breathe a little magic, it'll make you whole. Breathe a little magic, everybody.
Well, before I do the announcements, let me first say thank you, Denise Yeargin, for a fabulous message. Thank you, Sean Galloway, Yvonne Smith, just fabulous music today. Thank you to the band and to everyone who made this service so wonderful today. So very briefly on the announcements, Goodwill is going to be picking up most of the items that are on the tables in the fellowship hall this week. So this is the last Sunday to claim anything you want out there. The next decluttering is scheduled for Friday, November 3rd. So don't worry if you miss out on this round of stuff, because we'll be replenishing these tables with more things as we continue decluttering. And don't forget that there are also still a lot of books on the shelves in the Lending Library that are free for you to take home with you. We are looking to hire 2 child care workers for casual care for our youth. And what that means is you'll be in charge of the safety and care for our youth, but not responsible for any formal youth education program. So it is a child care program that we're looking to fill. Don't forget to connect with others midweek with our men's circle and our women's circle. And all the details for all these announcements can be found on the bulletin board behind the sanctuary, on our website, and in our newsletter. And I have one more brief announcement that is last but definitely not least, and that is Annie Golightly has made a decision to accept another position that provides hours that are much better suited to the needs of her beautiful young family. So she's not leaving us completely, because she's going to continue handling our website and our newsletter while we look for her replacement, and then she will still be around as a member of our community. So first of all, thank you to Annie for everything that she has handled here. And we love her and support her in her new chapter. And that means that we have an opening for a part-time office manager. So if you or you know anybody looking for a position such as this, please let anybody on the board know. Before we close our service, I'd like to welcome anyone who's visiting us for the first time. Please don't leave without giving us the chance to meet you and say hello. We have a visitor table in the lobby where you can get a visitor packet and sign our visitor list, and then join us in the fellowship hall for some refreshments after the service. If you're watching online, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. And now's the time that I'd like to ask our practitioners and our speaker to come up front. If there is something on your heart, something troubling you, or causing you pain, or something that you'd like to attract in your life, more love, more health, prosperity, please ask one of these professionals for a prayer treatment as soon as this service is over, or fill out a prayer request form and put it in the secure box in the table in the hallway. And if you're watching online, go to our website and you will find a tab for our practitioners. So I ask that you join me for this closing treatment. I'm going to say it in the first person, and I invite you to make it personal for you. Know with me that there is one mind, one creator, known by many names: God, Spirit, universal intelligence. But no matter what I call it or how I celebrate it, it is love. It is the one power from which all things come, and I am a unique expression of it. As I was created from it, I am one with it, and I express its magnificent qualities. In this world right now where there is so much conflict and confusion, I know that what I can do is hold a consciousness of peace. And so I hold and express peace. I express love and unity, that we are all one and are all expressions of spirit. And while I see the conditions occurring in so many places right now, in Israel, Pakistan, Palestine, Ukraine, are filled with so much pain, I walk in the consciousness of peace, knowing that peace in this world begins with peace within me. It begins with peace in my heart, that knows that I am a divine expression of God, and so is every other person. I hold in my consciousness that these conflicts and others around the world are resolved. Every person is safe, is free, is valued, is loved. This is the world in my mind and my heart. I have a passion for the possible. This is the consciousness that ripples beyond me to the collective consciousness, expanding and growing to heal this world. With the deepest gratitude, I simply say, thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit, for I know it is already so. I release these words to the law that this or something better is already done. And together we say, and so it is. So let's put a little love in our hearts and stand for our closing song.
All right, let's sing our closing song.